Greetings and salutations, Series 7 test takers. This is the Series 7 Guru coming to you from my studio here in fabulous Las Vegas. The best free supplement to your paid study materials is my YouTube channel. I offer explication of any question you have from any vendor. And so here's our latest request. I thought the best way to do this is put a position on the board so that we can look at it and compare. Basically, the question is comparing a long put with a short stock position. I always tease about being a smart bear or being a dumb bear. So let's put a position up here. Let's say I buy one Apple February 145 put at 7. And let's say that when I do that, Apple is at 145. That's the current market. Let's put that in a different color. What happened to my I'm having troubles with my need some more coffee here. Okay, there's our current market price. I'll just leave it the way it is. And then the other position, I'm going to short 100 shares of Apple at 145. Okay, so our first choice here in terms of the question that was asked of this test taker is when buying listed put options on the left side of the whiteboard to selling short the underlying stock short, right side of the whiteboard, which of the following choices is not an advantage? So it says A, buying a put requires a smaller capital commitment. That is certainly true. Now let's just put that here. The capital commitment to buy this put is $700. And to sell short this stock, you would have to come up with half of 14.5. So I'll just put that up here. You need to come up with 15%. So 14.5 times 50%. Is this would cause have you to come up with 7,250. So the capital commitment here is the Reg T requirement, which is $7,250. Okay, so that was choice A, and choice A says smaller capital commitment, and indeed that is true. That is true. Choice B says buying a put has a smaller dollar loss potential than selling the stock short. So that's choice B. And let's see, if I'm wrong here and I buy the put, I just lose my premium. And that is certainly a reason that people buy options, right? Because you have less money out of pocket, therefore you have less risk. So the maximum loss here is my premium of 700. And my max loss here is unlimited. The way I always tease about it, right, is I always say, if you buy the put and you're wrong, you're a smart bear. I'm always joking about don't be a dumb bear. Bears think things are going down. Now, you could do things to mitigate that risk, but that's not what this question is about, right? It's just comparing the long put position with the short stock position. And let me just, boom, let's put that there. Right, that's what we're comparing is these two positions. So B is true. B is true. All right, let's see what C says. C says the put has a time value beyond which intrinsic value that gradually dissipates. Now, that's a fancy way of saying that the time value eroding is an advantage, and that's certainly not. So C, time value dissipating, Let me get a different color here. Time value dissipating or eroding is bad, because remember here, you got to be right when you buy the put on three of things. You got to be right about direction. You're choosing down. You got to be right about how far down, 7 points. You got to cover your out-of-pocket cost. And then, you got to be right about the timing. So in this example, if Apple's 145 and it remains unchanged, the time value is going to be poof, and you're going to lose the entire $700. So that is not a positive thing. That's not true in the short stock position. In the short stock position, you only have to be right about one thing, which is direction. So by the way, that's true. This would be true if I compared a long call to the long stock position as well, right? There's no time value in the stock position. So that means it's not dissipating, it's not eroding. And so there is no time value. But that basically means, I'm oversimplifying, but it means you have forever to be right unless somebody wants back to borrowed stock. And so that's why C is the correct answer. Let's see, choice D. Let's see what choice D says. Choice C saying buying a put is not subject to regulation show. Regulation show is the locate requirement that requires you to locate the security before you sell the stock short, right? So in other words, here, if I'm going to sell short the Apple, I do not have to, I sell short the Apple, there is a locate requirement, meaning, my firm says, Dean, let's check with stock loan and see if somebody has signed the loan consent form. And if so, we can lend you the stock and you can go short, or, it's on a list that's easy to get. But that is true. There is no locate requirement to buy a put on Apple. Boom, you can make it happen right now, where there is a locate requirement to sell short the stock. Okay, so the answer here was C. And I'll just read the question again. When buying a put option compared to selling the stock short, which of the following choices is not an advantage? A, buying a put requires a smaller capital commitment. That's true. That's why people buy options. Same thing, by the way, with a call. Buying a call is going to be a lot cheaper than buying Apple, the stock. B, buying a put has a smaller dollar loss potential than selling the stock short. Again, that's what people buy options. You're wrong. You just lose the premium. Same on the call contract. So B is true. The put has a time value beyond which the time value, intrinsic value gradually dissipates. Beyond any intrinsic value that gradually dissipates, time value erodes. That is a disadvantage. Buying a put doesn't have a locate requirement. I used to make my baby brokers write 1,000 times. Options are a wasting asset. Time value erodes. At expiration of the contract's only worth its intrinsic value. If the option has intrinsic value, at expiration, it will be exercised. It has no intrinsic value, it will expire worthless. And I'd say write that 999 more times. Ken Griffin is a guy who has, or excuse me, not Ken Griffin, Bill Ackman has a hedge fund. And he told his limited partners he's switching his short stock position to long puts, meaning he's still a bearish, but he's not going to have any problem about, maintenance calls or if it moving against him. So anyways, hope you found that was helpful. Remember, inch by inch, your Series 7 is a cinch. Yard by yard, your Series 7 is hard. If you have any other explication requests, just send them my way.